So this is an experiment that is using soft rush and beef tallow to make a rushlight. And I picked a couple of these rushes in mid-July when they were nice and full and still the skin was still soft and juicy enough that you can peel the skin right away like you saw in the movie that was before this one, without damaging the pith. I tried last year working with rushes that were picked in the autumn by a good friend, and it was really cool to see them, and I did end up using them for baskets, but the problem was the skin was really stuck on, like the whole body of the plant was really kind of much more attached to itself. So peeling that skin away was really hard. Even after soaking the rushes and trying to use a knife just damaged the pith. Soaking them and trying to peel the skin was damaging the pith, because that inner part, it's really spongy and soft and it's beautiful. That's what holds the fat and makes it into the light, or allows you to burn it. But it's pretty fragile and soft. These are tiny little rushes too. I think that looking next year for larger specimens might be good, but also the angle that you burn them at can change how quickly they burn. Everyone's saying to do them or angle them at a 45-degree angle, and that really does work best. If you have it upright, they burn really, really fast. If you have it more out to the side, yesterday that seemed to be burning really quickly too. This one has been going for about 6 minutes so far, and it's burned maybe 2 inches of the rush. And again, these ones are really small, but they're so pretty. And of course, this is daytime, so it's not showing us how much light they make, but it's like a candle. It makes a beautiful light, and they're very easy to make. And if you harvest the rushes in July, it's super simple to peel that part away. You just want to leave one little strip of the green skin to help strengthen the core, the pithy core, because that is really, really soft. So that helps kind of hold it all together. Some people cut them into littler sections, and I'm using a clothespin as the nip to hold it, but you can, like, there's a lot of different things that have been used, and I'm having a hard time so far finding information about earlier use of rushlights. There's sort of like around 1600, 1700, they start talking about rushlights being used by country folks, but before that there's not really anything that I'm sure there's information, but I haven't found it yet. And there's very little left from this whole process. When it's burnt up. There's really nothing to show for it in the archaeological record, unless you're in a really boggy or dry site. So, and they just get used up. It's a domestic good that's meant to be used, and I'm sure that why would you leave it sitting around? But they're really, really cool, and they're so simple. And I just melted a jar of tallow and kind of in a double boiler setup on the stove and dipped them in there. And it's cool because when it runs out of the tallow part, it just kind of poofs and goes out. It doesn't really burn the rest of the pith without the oil or the fat to hold the flame. So that was kind of neat to see too. So this is great. It's like 8 minutes, almost 9 minutes, and it's been about 4 inches of the rush. So that's nicer than yesterday. I felt like it was burning very quickly, but I had it at a more shallow angle. So 45 degrees it is. It's really neat. And I'm so excited it worked.